Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Commute. My name is Garrett, and this is my show, I guess is what I'm going to call it, because that's what it is. Driving home, it's nighttime right now. I'm driving home from picking up dinner, so the lighting might be, well, atrocious to be frank, but, you're watching this to listen, not to watch me drive, right? I mean, it's just easier to record a video so you can see my face, when there's a little bit of light for you to see it. Anyway, with the introduction out of the way, what I want to talk about, I'm just going to try to keep it brief here. I don't have much drive time here, so I'm going to try to keep these points nice and concise for you. I want to talk about financial discipline, making a plan and sticking to it, and, not letting emotions get in the way of your plan. So, financial discipline, what is that? That's, keeping a good eye on your money, knowing where your money's going, keeping a good hold on your finances, budgeting properly, not living above your means, not accruing too much debt, all those kinds of things. That's what entails, good financial discipline. Most people my age don't generally have very good discipline when it comes to money. They usually spend all their paycheck and they have nothing left at the end of the week or 2 weeks or whatever the pay period is. And they're living paycheck to paycheck with no savings, and they're not saving for retirement, or they're not building a nest egg or anything. They have nothing in the background. They just rely on that income and solely that income alone. That is a trap that, we've been taught to get ourselves into, is to always have the nice things, the shiny cars and, the nice shoes and new designer clothes and all those things. It's around us 24/7. We see people bragging about these kinds of things, showing how wealthy they are, showing off all these nice fancy things they have, and be like, oh, you can get what I have if you just do these 1, 2, 3, whatever things. Nobody gets rich overnight unless you're incredibly lucky, or you win the lottery, or you're a trust fund kid or something like that. But for most normal people like you and me, it takes dedication, and it takes that financial discipline. So really, just keeping a good eye on your money and where it's going and your finances and what your money's doing for you. So say you have a good base, you budget well, you have great discipline, you're not living paycheck to paycheck, you have a little bit of extra money left over every pay period, and you want to do something extra with that money because now you're feeling like, it's time to step up. So now it's time for you to make a plan. And, you make plans at each and every step. So, like, if you're struggling to get by and you're in lots of debt and you're living paycheck to paycheck, your plan should be to get out of debt and getting to a point where you can stay afloat comfortably. But once you hit that point, once you have that disposable income that you can comfortably see leave your account, and you won't be worried about where your next meal is going to come from, that's really when you want to make your wealth plan, is what what everybody calls it. Your wealth growth plan, your growth plan, your financial plan, your future plan, whatever it is. And the important part is sticking to that plan, whatever it is. So if you have a plan to invest $5 a week, no matter what, you need to invest that $5 a week. Even if you cannot afford to put that $5 in that week, and you genuinely can't, then make up for it at the end of the month. Pick up a side job, walk somebody's dog, mow a yard. There's all kinds of things you can do to get just a little extra cheddar to help you get through and help you stay committed to your plan, because it takes it takes that dedication. Like, for example, me right now, I was personally in a very high debt position before, and I didn't feel like I had a very good handle on it. And what did I do to get out of debt? Instead of sitting around and waiting for the paychecks to take care of it for me, I went out and got a second job, and I went out and I started driving for Uber, and I started doing these extra things. I'm making YouTube videos. Like, I'm doing anything that is easily accessible to me as a person to generate more income. So if you have skills, if you're if you're working a day job, but you're really good at editing videos, you can take on some video editing contracts for smaller content creators like myself. It might not pay a whole lot, but an extra $25 for an hour of work ain't bad, right? I mean, $50 if you spend 2 hours on something, that's $25 an hour. And I know a lot of video editors that get paid a lot more. Mine works for free because he's one of my best friends. Thank you, Nick, for that. You're awesome. He is making this a lot easier for you to watch, so be grateful to him. He also has a channel. I'll be sure to link that and connect him with where I got a whole bunch of people that I'm going to network and bring onto this. But anyway, making your plan, sticking to it, doing whatever you can do. That's the most important part. So like if you say you have $4,000 in credit card debt and you want to pay that $4,000 off within a year, that's a pretty doable scenario, but you're not going to do that by paying the minimum. You're going to have to make some extra, pay some extra on that principal, and make sure you keep try to pay as much of it as you can to keep the interest low, because that high interest is really what gets you. And you're never going to out-invest high interest debt. You just won't. There's no consistent way to invest to make 30-40% returns. And a lot of these credit cards have a 25 to 35% APR if you're a new customer, and banks love to hand credit out to young people like me. You haven't built any credit, so they want to extend it to you to help you build credit. But what they don't tell you is they'll approve you for a lot more than you initially think, and then you can end up spending a lot more than you realize before it even happens, because the card will allow the transaction to happen whether you have the money or not. And if you're really responsible and you pay that note off every month and all that, then they're a great way to make a little bit of extra cash back and build credit. But if you're not very disciplined or you like to spend a lot, credit cards might not be ideal for you, at least until you get a better base built. So, that $4,000, say you want to pay that $4,000 off over a 12-month span, then you need to commit to paying whatever the amount is divided by, 4,000 divided by 12, and you're going to need to factor in the annual percentage rate. So you're going to have to add a 20 to 25, 30%, whatever the interest rate on your card is, depending on your credit. And you're going to have to commit that amount of money every month. And I mean, it's even a good thing to try to, beat your goals. So maybe if you put a little bit more in, you can get it paid off in 6 months instead of a year. And then you save yourself that much more on interest, right? Because, I mean, if you use a credit card and you pay it all off in the month, then you just got a free loan, basically. But if you wait a month for that interest charge to cure, that loan is now costing you money. So it's really important to not let those things get a hold of you. And then, sticking to your plan. So say you lose your job and you lose your source of income, and it's genuinely difficult to, invest. It's the time to start picking up change and picking up side jobs, like I was saying before. There's all kinds of things. We live in a world where all kinds of work is right there at our fingertips. I mean, if you have any kind of car or vehicle, or you're able to drive, you can deliver pizza, you can deliver DoorDash or Uber Eats. If you have a car that's newer than 2008, you can drive for Uber. And that's, if you go out during peak hours and you get on the surges, it's not bad. It's pretty lucrative, depending on where you're driving at. So, those are just the things that I do. If you have, like I said, if you're great at marketing, go to small businesses and point out flaws in their marketing and be like, well, I can help you improve this because of X, Y, Z. If you're great at web design, help small companies build their websites. If you have data annotation skills or data analytical skills, you can help train chatbots online. There's all kinds of ways to get into that. Data analysis. There's free certifications you can get online. All kinds of resources that are available if you just want to use them. And that's the beauty of it. It costs me nothing to come to you and make these videos, because I'm using things that I already have. I do plan on investing more into this, but as it stands right now, this does not cost me anything to do. And it's something that I enjoy doing, and it could potentially make me money one day, but that's not my goal. My goal is to really just give myself a platform to talk, like I said. and discuss the things that I'm passionate about. So, really, what I want to end on is the one thing I want you to take away most is think about sticking to your plan as doing a favor for your future self, right? You don't want to live in the past. The past is done and gone. There's nothing you can do to change it. You want to plan for the future, but live in the now, right? So living in the now means making those sacrifices to ensure a better future for yourself. So living in the now means doing what you can to make sure you get those dollars invested, get that money invested, get that project started, get whatever it is that you want to do rolling, and just start and just go do it. And then, you'll learn as you progress the speed bumps that you might encounter and how to navigate them. But that's what makes you is your unique experiences. So yeah, just think about it like doing your past self is doing your future self a favor. And if you stay on that path, imagine, think about 20 years from now, how happy you will have been that you did that, or how happy you will be, that you did that for yourself, right? As opposed to if you just said, well, screw it, I'm not going to do that. And then in 20 years, what are you doing? You're still working for the same paycheck, right? So I guess that's really all I had for this one, trying to keep it short and sweet around the 10-minute mark. It probably is going to run a little bit longer. My editor's pretty amazing. Like I said, he tends to cut a lot of the fluff and leave the important stuff. So yeah, good, much appreciated, Nick, and thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, thank you for listening to me ramble. Yeah, let's see this channel grow some more, and drop a comment down low, and give me some feedback, and like and subscribe. Thank you.